So, I guess first, I just want to talk about what is the golf swing by John Cunningham. Like, what are your thoughts? What's going on? How do you achieve consistency as well as speed?
Okay, cool. So, first thing, for it to be usable, it has to go in the right direction with some decent distance and direction, right?
Yeah.
So, directionally, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. Colin Morikawa plays a little wicked grip, flexes at the top, holds it off, hits a little cut, right?
Yep.
But this is just the way I do it. So, I get the left hand on top a little bit, not too much. Too much turns into a hook pretty quick, just because I can turn that face over a ton.
Yep.
Right? So, a little strong, but not too crazy to where I can flex it over a little bit past 90. And then when I open it up, I can't really get it to 90.
Yeah.
Right? And the right hand just kind of goes on, not really on the bottom, but kind of like on that like 40, like diagonal way right here. And in the backswing, all I'm trying to do is keep the face square. Square doesn't really mean like straight up and down, because that's open. It's more like that, which is just like parallel to my spine. So, if I'm there, right? This is just about direction, right? I come back down. I'm not too worried about the top, as long as I don't do anything with my wrist, right? I don't want to flex or extend my wrist. So, good grip. Good takeaway, not much twisting in the face there. I can hinge, but as you can see from that guy,
you can go radial.
Not changing the face angle.
Okay.
Right? So, at that point, I don't really worry about it at the top. Now the downswing, where a lot of people mess up, is they go here.
Yep.
Face opens up.
That's what I do.
Bang, face open. So then they have to go bang to close it. And then contact gets bad, face control gets bad, everything gets bad. So, for a lot of times, you want to feel like that right hand stays on top of the downswing, which is still closed, which is the same position I was in the backswing. Then from there, go through the ball. Yeah, that's just backing down.
From the top of the backswing, down, back to shaft parallel prior to impact, do you feel like it is a drop? I guess, how are you consistently able to get in that position? Because I'm definitely one of those people that lays the club off too much and opens the face in the downswing.
Yep. So to get the club down to the ball, all I'm doing is just turning, which is going to take me outside, right?
Yep.
But as I'm turning, I'm tilting. So I'm here as I'm turning, right?
Yep.
So combination between those two looks like this.
Okay. All right.
So I'm really trying not to do anything with my arms, right? I'm fully extending at the ball, right? Doing all that. But to get down most of the way, it's just turning and tilting.
Okay.
So if I just do that, I can hit a pretty straight ball. Now it's not going to quite turn over because I'm not doing anything with my wrist yet.
Yep. So when you talk about you just release through the ball, I feel like that is one of the things that can require a fair bit of explanation.
Yeah.
Obviously, guys that use the Colin Morikawa lead wrist flexion don't do much.
Correct.
But I'm not a cutter of the ball.
Yep.
So for a drawer of the ball that's a little more active with the hands, what does that need to look like to deliver loft, but also square the face?
Yeah. So downswing, turn, tilt, right?
Yep.
That gets you to impact. Then past impact, all I'm trying to do is really not to shut the face too many degrees like this. So I'm not trying to over supinate. I got supinated a tiny bit. And then from there, I'm just trying to get the club working back towards me. So as I'm turning, it's more like this.
Fair enough.
It's not that extreme. I mean, it's probably there, right?
Yeah, that's what it more so ends up being, yeah.
Yep. That face is close to that point just a tiny bit.
Yep.
And you get this nice angle here, which creates spin. the more you keep it lower, the lower the spin's gonna be.
Okay.
So I can hit one that's like real low launch. Because I'm keeping it down.
Okay.
The faster I move that thing up, again, not with my elbows, but with my wrist, the higher the ball is going to be.
Yeah. I don't understand why, but I know that to be true.
Yeah.
Why doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, well, because you're starting to not just the Colmar way where you're de-lofting through impact, right?
Yeah.
You're staying here, staying here, staying here, so you never really present any loft. So even though I'm doing this out here,
Yeah.
it does affect this right here a little bit, right? So I go from here, start working it that way, it's just a tiny bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about a tiny bit, 4 degrees can factor a lot into spin and launch.
Exactly, exactly. And then as I get more radial, where that club is working towards me, I'm also getting away from the ground. So if I just go here, stay here, I can work on the ground longer.
Yep.
If I work that club up and vertically, that club is moving away from the ground without moving where my hands are,
Yeah.
but changing the angle of my wrist.
Fair enough.
I think a lot of people get caught on of, you know, how do you do this, right?
Yep.
Because that's the move. Well, yeah, I'm doing it while I'm turning,
Yep.
right? So it's that, essentially, right?
Yep.
And that's what gets the ball up in the air.
Someone like you who is so good at hitting down on an iron shot to an excessive degree, how are you able to achieve that? What is it in your swing that is allowing you to hit 10 degrees down when you want to on an iron shot?
You can't really hit down on the ball if your low point's behind you.
Yep.
Right, which is kind of where the center of your mass is.
Yep.
If you do that, I mean, you're gonna hit up on it, or you're gonna try to do something like this, and it's just impossible, right?
Yep.
So I do a good job of getting my weight forward.
Yep.
Center of gravity in front of the ball. That way it's easier to hit down into the ball.
Definitely. And you're someone who has about, I think we've measured about 5
6
inches worth of.
Yeah, more than I want, but it's what I got.
But it's what you got, and it does make you really good at this particular aspect of iron striking.
Yep. As you can see, if I just like don't move my hands, I move my body instead, I'm already in front.
Yep.
Right? With the face being a little bit more square, I'm there, right?
Definitely. All right, now what adjustments need to be made for the driver in order to hit it well? I guess what is the same and what is different?
So driver, nothing too crazy. Let me get to you and get back in the camera. Okay, so that's about the setup difference for the driver.
Okay.
Ball's forward for the driver, right? Further away from me, obviously. 8 irons closer, and a little bit closer to my feet, just because I don't need to make a big swing as much, right?
Definitely.
But with the driver, it's the same type of release pattern. So I'm here, same grip, same face back here, coming back down, I'm still here. And because of that driver, the ball position is forward, I'm gonna release the same way I do, which is typically somewhere in here, right?
Yep.
That's where I usually am for an iron. And then I'm immediately there afterwards, right?
So is that a slight difference there? Do you feel like you get as much lead wrist extension with an iron as you do with a driver? Because you're someone who can hit the driver really high.
Yeah, if I want to hit the ball higher, I'll do more lead wrist extension.
Yeah, while still hitting down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm not hitting down on the driver, right?
Yeah.
I'm hitting up because my ball position is forward.
Definitely.
And then if I need to get the ball up in the air a little bit more, what I'll do is just tilt down a little bit, so I'm already changing my angle of attack.
Yeah.
So I'm here, give you a normal one.
Definitely.
That would be the normal one.
So why don't you give us like a slow position by position, especially when we're looking at the release.
Oh, the driver?
On the driver, because that's something I'm terrible with. I'm definitely somebody who maintains too much forward shaft lean with a driver when I'm hitting it poorly.
Yep.
So what does that need to look like?
So I'm not thinking a whole lot with my wrist here.
Yep.
Because it's the same release I have with my 8-iron. The ball's just forward, and I can tilt down a little bit more to get the ball up in the air if I need to, right?
Okay.
You don't want to tilt down too much because then you're hitting way too far up into it. You're bottoming out back here, and you're just never gonna make good contact.
Yep.
But as I come down, same wrist here. As I get here, same wrist. And then all I'm trying to do is deliver loft. Because my face is square, right? Square for me,
Yep.
right? Closed to normal things.
Yeah.
But for me, it's square. Now all I'm trying to do is deliver loft with that lead wrist extension a little bit. And as you see, as I do that, that toe will turn a little bit more over as I do so.
Definitely.
So it's a slight supination as I'm adding loft. So I can swing a slow one here.
Still launches well, still turning over.
And that's the same ball flight we want.
Yep.
It just has no spin because I haven't added speed to it. All right, I can go a little faster. Do the same thing, add loft, supinate just a tiny bit. But because I'm good back here, I don't have to do a whole lot. I just need to deliver loft.
All right.
That'd be a little slower one than normal. But
All right.
same ball flight.
Now make me do it. Slow, no ball, just a tee.
I'm gonna tee up one just for the future.
Okay.
So this is the rightward shoulder tilt that we're talking about here.
Yep.
Grip is good, left hand's on top, not too extreme. This is my swing, right?
Yep.
Right hand's pretty good. Kind of that catty corner of the grip.
Mm-hmm.
Not really too far underneath, not too far on top. So you should be able to turn the wrist over, right, at a little bit more than 90 degrees. There you go. And how much can you open it?
Not much at all.
Awesome.
My wrists don't articulate like yours.
Gotcha. So you have less range of motion.
Yep.
So we're taking out the right miss basically, right?
Definitely.
So now, right, so don't move the hands.
Mm-hmm.
Let the club start working towards the target
Okay.
this way,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then that's the lead wrist extension with a little bit of that supination.
Okay.
Now, it's not that extreme in the swing, right? Because we are turning and adding speed as well,
Mm-hmm.
right? But go back to P6 here, which is parallel in the downswing. There, right? Club face is closed.
Yep.
And then from there, it's just a release pattern with the grip.
Yeah. Which
Right.
is what I think I'm terrible at because I tend to get here,
Yep.
some degree thereof,
Yep.
and you seem to go
Yep.
there, but see, that's not enough. Like I'm still way too ulnar there.
Yep.
So I guess how do you kind of that way?
Yep. So I'm getting that shaft to work back towards me in the follow through, which is the same thing I'm doing with the irons. If you go look at like Rory's release with the iron and then driver, it's very, very similar.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit more tilt with the driver.
Interesting.
Yep. So hitting down on the ball with the iron, right, will get the ball to launch a little bit lower.
Yep.
And then the faster you do the radial deviation, the follow through, the more it will get up and spin, right? Or as you like to say, sizzle. Right? It's the same type of pattern. I'm just adding a little bit more tilt. The ball's forward, right? And then I might be adding a little bit more lead wrist extension, but not by a whole lot.
Yeah.
Right, when I'm hitting my best balls with the driver, I'm not really adding any. It's just kind of like the setup is taking care of it.
I think setup and then some of the big faults you were talking about are ones that I possess of. Definitely on the way down, I like to get here.
Yep.
Face wide open instead of here.
Yep.
And then the release pattern, I like to go this way and I get open.
Yeah, and you like to
Or
go
I like
that
to
way because
drag.
old habits, you used to slice it, right?
Yep.
A ton.
Yep.
So you're like, let me pull it left.
Yep.
To
If I can
hopefully
start it
not.
left enough,
Yep.
it'll still be in play.
Yep. So here, take backswing.
Okay.
So we're just going to hit the tee and stop halfway in the follow through here.
Okay.
So go to the follow through for me real quick. Yep. So you're turning, you're tilting, all that stuff. So go over here a little bit more. There it is. Yep. So that's a little bit of supination, and the shaft is vertically working back towards you.
All right.
So make a swing where you stop at that position.
Okay.
It's tough to stop.
Yeah.
But you saw the face is starting to turn over, right? Shaft is working vertically.
Yeah, because it's naturally wanting to,
Yeah.
the torque of the shaft wanting to kick it over.
Yep. The only thing that we've seen from you in this scenario, right, when you do this well,
Yeah.
that, go and set up to the ball there. We're not gonna hit this ball, but just so
Clearly.
we have a placeholder. Go ahead and just stay there. When you get really, really far inside in the downswing,
Uh-huh.
right, it's really hard to create spin no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So this is more of a, I wouldn't say neutral path, right, to where average is about 4 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
But if we can maintain 4 to 8, 8 being the most, we can.
That's where I get though. You see how the face is just hanging open?
Yep.
That's,
So again, that's a
where I get
little
it.
bit of that supination as you're adding that leader's extension. And because your wrists don't want to supinate as much as mine,
Yeah.
you got to feel like they do even more.
More, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, for fun, do you want to see the driver off the deck?
Yeah.
This is really fairly easy. It's just setting up correctly. Ball's forward. I'm typically set up a little bit open. And I'm trying to hit down on this thing, so I'm trying to move forward, and then I'm releasing later, right? So the fact that I'm hitting down on it, right? I'm not trying to dig in the ground. So I am getting that shaft working back towards me so quickly. It's almost like a V, right? That would be the
Yeah.
extreme version of it.
Yeah.
But that's what is trying to happen. And then the same rules apply with everything else. And then there's the driver off the deck.
Derek, I don't know if you can appreciate that shot. Very few people possess the ability to hit that shot.
Now, if I want to fade it, that's another story, right? I'm still trying to get radial
Yeah.
without the supination. So I'm trying to get radial, working the shaft back towards me, still create that kind of V motion here, or
Yeah.
the U.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to close that face. So that face is now here, right? Which is gonna leave the face open. Should see a little fade here. There's a little fade.
That's a nice fade, especially since we got a right to left wind
Yeah, not bad.
held up against it.
There's a DOD.
There you go.
And then same thing if I, for some reason, having fun, I want to hit this thing low, I'm just not going to make this V as much, right? It's still going to come down, then it's going to almost like flatline, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not getting the shaft to work back towards me. This ball should come out a little lower, hopefully take off that black flag.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts?
So with the driver or the irons or both? So irons are easier, right? Ball's in the middle, same wrist, close face, move left, drive it down in the turf. And it's the same radial motion here to get the ball in the air, right? It's nothing crazy. It's just the same thing. With the driver, same thing, except ball is now more forward. My wrist is still moving in the same spot in my swing, but because the ball position is forward, it's going to hit up on the ball for me, right?
Yep.
If I need to throw this up in the air, I'll add a little bit more leaderish extension while I'm still supinating.
Yep.
But it's not a ton more, right? I mean, like that.
Yep.
Let's go play golf.
Go play golf.